2-1 down from the first leg at Anfield, when Fulham actually took the lead on the night, if you remember, a fortnight ago. Fulham have not played for 11 days since they lost 1-0 to Chelsea, so both sides have played once since that first leg. Liverpool played on Sunday, so Jurgen Klopp actually makes 4 changes, Fulham 2 from the last time that they played. But the Fulham side, very similar to Anfield, just the one change, and that is Kearney into the midfield for Wilson. So Leno in goal, and then at the back, Castagna, Aggregate, Diop and Robinson, Palhinha and Tom Kearney, the captain, with Andreas Pereira. Bobby Di Cordova-Reid, he had a big moment in the first leg, remember, when Fulham weren't able to get their second goal. So Di Cordova-Reid, Willian, and then Raúl Jiménez up front. Jiménez, as we've discussed this evening, showing signs of that he might be able to get back to his best. 4 goals in his last 6 appearances. And Liverpool, Kelleher in goal again, as is the case, as is now customary in this competition. And then at the back, Conor Bradley, the Northern Ireland international, again the 20-year-old at right back. Jarell Quansah coming in central defence, so Konate on the bench, and it's Quansah with Van Dijk, and then Gomez at left back again. McAllister and Gravenberch in midfield. Harvey Elliott, who started his career here, made his first appearance as a professional footballer as a 16-year-old, so he's back at Craven Cottage, Harvey Elliott. And then Diaz, Nunez and Gakpo up front, so Jota on the bench tonight, as is Andy Robertson as he comes back. Simon Hooper blows the whistle. Liverpool kick off, and by the end of this January night we will know the lineup for the 2024 Carabao Cup final.
Carabao actually won the ball. Just seeing the cross from Robinson again, it's a brilliant cross, and I tell you, Di Cordova-Reid was loitering at the far post to pop that one in.
Robinson's clearance absolutely smacked Kearney amidships, and he felt that, heard the slap from here. It hit him right in the middle of the stomach, actually. Quansah. Fortunately, it bounced back to Robinson, who cleared it. But now Diaz into the penalty area. Diaz with a shot. It's crept in. Leno couldn't get there. Down to his right. He couldn't keep it out. It squirmed past him and bounced into the back of the net. And it's Liverpool who have the first goal of the night in the second leg and have opened up a 3-1 lead on aggregate. Fulham 0, Liverpool 1. Diaz.
Yeah, it's Diaz off the left-hand side. I've got to say, my first impression was that Leno's had an absolute shocker in the Fulham goal. I think it's a soft goal. Diaz driving on inside, and I think his right-footed shot takes a deflection, and it squirms under Leno. Not great pace on the shot. Does brilliantly to take the ball down. Big switch of play, but he gets beaten at his near post. Not so sure whether it took a deflection or not, but there's no great pace on the shot. It does take a deflection. The goalkeeper's got to do much better. That's an absolute shocker from Leno in the Fulham goal. Dear me, it's a weak right hand. He gets, and he actually palms it onto the post, and in it goes.
It was poorly defended, or well played for by Diaz, who beat Castagna on the far side. Could he have been stronger, the Belgian right back? But then it did take a deflection, significant deflection, but even so, Leno down to his right, got a hand onto the post and into the net.
Bottom line is, you can say initially Castagna should have done better, but I mean the biggest fault lies with the goalkeeper. You'd expect a goalkeeper at this level to make the save. Marco Silva complaining to the...
Now, is he suggesting that he feels that was a foul on Castagna by Diaz? Is he? No, that's the only thing I can think.
He does love a moan, doesn't he, Marco Silva?
I think he's on an FA charge as it is at the moment, and I should stress it looks like a reasonable conversation with Tony Harrington, the fourth official. Play's not restarted yet, but that's not because of VAR, because we don't have VAR tonight. It's because there's a flare on the pitch.
Better from Fulham, actually. Thought in this second half they need to be brave to get back into this game, and they've had a couple of encouraging attacks and actually kept the ball in the Liverpool half for a few moments, which is something that quite simply they didn't do in the first half.
Point I was going to make, I always and often, whenever I'm thinking of you actually, Chris, think back to when we were in Amsterdam together, at that Champions League semi-final where it looked over. I'd written it off, we'd all written it off, And what happened? Tottenham came back and won. Willian, right-footed ball, cross, goalkeeper comes, Gallagher, bounces down, shot from Pereira, that's blocked inside the penalty area, and it breaks away, and Liverpool are off on the counter-attack here. It's 3 against 2, Darwin Núñez cuts infield, Núñez plays it square to Elliott, and Elliott shoots into the legs of Leno, straight at the keeper, and the Fulham goalkeeper kept out the former Fulham youngster.
Well, I think Núñez picked the wrong pass.
Shot now, across the face of goal from McAllister, but dragged well wide. Goal kick.
Yeah, I thought Núñez, he should have picked out Diaz, who'd made a really clever run, but gotta say, Kelleher makes a real mess of the cross, mistimes it. I.Diop gets up, and Pereira, it is against the post. Cannons off the post, it's at an angle. He feels he should score that. That's a gilt-edged opportunity. I'm not saying it's an easy opportunity, but from that angle, a player at this level got to be scoring that.
In front of the Hammersmith end, the angle was tight, but it was there. The opportunity was there. How many yards away was he? On the far side of the 6-yard box, probably. I don't know, 5-6 yards.
Yeah, probably what, sort of a yard and a half, 2 yards in from the touchline.
And how much of a gap did he have to shoot for?
He had enough of a gap. Enough of a gap. He'll be thinking about that one this evening.
That's a massive moment. When are Fulham going to have another chance like this, you wonder? It's the first semi-final for nearly 14 years. The club's never won a major trophy. The league title, the FA Cup, the League Cup. Never won it. And here they are. They're behind, they're up against it, and now they've lost the ball on the edge of their own penalty area, and Núñez turns and shoots across the face of goal and wide of the far post. And I have to say, from the angle, and he was shooting from the far side of the penalty area, I was half expecting to see that fly into the top corner.
Well, Leno went for it, didn't he? It's a brilliant, quick swivel from Núñez. You're quite right on the far side of the box, and whipped in a shot, and Leno threw himself at the ball, and it went wide of the far post.
Liverpool come again. The moment that I'm sitting here wondering, is another goal going to come in this tie? Well, Marco Silva is going to bring on his young Brazilian striker Rodrigo Muniz, who was on loan at Middlesbrough last season. He scored just 1 goal this season, but free kick first of all though. Kearney playing it in left-footed, which is headed away to the edge of the box. Willian plays it back in there, and Diop goes down as several players challenge for the ball on the edge of the area, but shouts from the crowd, but nothing from the players. Again, Wilson on the left-hand side as he comes forward. He beats Bradley. Wilson plays it across deflection, and Fulham have scored, and Diop got the touch. The big man from the back, enough to force it past Kelleher, and Fulham are on the score sheet in the semi-final here at Craven Cottage. 1-1 on the night now. Liverpool lead 3-2 on aggregate, and we've got 14 minutes of the 90 to play.
Yeah, one moment, and this stadium has come alive. Gotta say, Harry Wilson, what a piece of play on the left-hand side. Chops inside Bradley, feeds the ball over, and Diop, what's he doing forward? Bundles the ball in, 4 or 5 yards past Kelleher. It's a really clever finish, just opens his right foot out, or his right knee out, I should say, and just deflects it past Kelleher. Instinctive finish, Fulham back in it.
Cross took a little deflection when Wilson played it over, and that carried it onto just above Diop's right knee, and it flew into the net. Now Fulham have got their tails up. They need another goal. They need one more goal without reply to take this to extra time, and they've got time. 13 minutes to go. Willian goes down. They wanted a free kick. Referee Hooper's having none of that. Liverpool break away. Suddenly the mood has changed, as predicted.
And Liverpool look like they've just done enough.
I think we've got to give them credit though. They've been able to prevent Fulham from forcing that one big final chance. Jurgen Klopp bringing on a third central defender, and that helped to see it out and see Liverpool through. The final whistle goes. Fulham fall short. in a domestic cup semi-final once again. They've only ever won one out of now 7, and Liverpool are through to a record extending 14th League Cup final, the record winners of this competition. Just like 2 years ago, it'll be Liverpool against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final at the end of next month, and the Liverpool supporters are celebrating joyously. They may have been to dozens, scores and scores of cup finals, but that doesn't dilute the feeling when your team gets there. And they're celebrating there, red smoke bombs going off, banners are being held up in there as well. So we've got Liverpool-Chelsea in a League Cup or an FA Cup final for a 5th time, and it will be 3 out of 5 finals, the big finals at Wembley. Liverpool against Chelsea, and Jurgen Klopp goes to Van Dijk, gives him a big hug. L.Diaz scoring that early opening goal for Liverpool, and when Wilson came on, that forced the equaliser on the night from I.Diop. But Fulham won, Liverpool won, and Liverpool are through 3-2 on Aggregate.